watching, welcome. And thank you, Patti Alonzo. And I'm going to call you Patti because that's what I call you. And,
Yes.
and I'm familiar with you. Um, what the other thing I think I can do, because we do have quite a bit of a delay, I can come back in if you like, so that it will appear more normal. Or we could just keep talking here, but you can see the lips aren't syncing with what I'm saying at this time. So
Well, believe it or not, I don't see anything like what you're saying, the delay.
oh
I see
really?
you just
It's on
fine.
my
Yeah.
end? Oh
I
great.
think it's on your
Okay.
end. Yes.
Okay, good then. All right. Well, then let's begin. Patty, thank you so much for accepting to come on today. I know you're so busy and you just shared there's so much going
Mm.
on right now. I think it's a
Yes.
collective thing. People are going through so much emotionally and trying to keep up with work and family and all sorts of things. And so it is a trying time. And that's why I think it's so important to talk about the topic about housing and real estate here in Florida. And I know that Remax is such a great company. It expands worldwide. So there's so many options for everyone and for many people that are eligible to purchase. And we'll talk more about that. Now, um, what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is I'm going to greet the audience and then I'll read the bio that you sent me, which I appreciate so much. And then we'll start the interview if you're fine with that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because I know you're short of time. You said 45 minutes, correct? If we can expand a little more, you let me know. If not, I will be very conscientious with the time frame. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so hello everyone tuning in. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you're tuning in from. And if you're catching the replay, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and share as well if you feel that someone can benefit from this information. I'm Evelyn Cosme, an executive coach for women, entrepreneurs, and professionals who are ready to transform their emotional pain, crisis, or life transitions into self mastery and become extraordinary women of guts and grace. Leadership development at its finest. I'm the CEO and founder of Evelyn Cosme International, and welcome to the second episode of Extraordinary Women of Guts and Grace Compassionate, Fearless Leadership. With this platform, my intention is to highlight the outstanding contributions of women in their industry and the journey to success that they've had and strategies that have worked for them so that we can inspire other women and the next generation of leaders. My guest today is my very own personal realtor, a woman who has overcome unsurmountable challenges to get to where she is today. And she's truly a woman of guts and grace. So, uh, to share a little bit more about Patricia, or Patty, as we lovingly call her, Patty started working with Remax, and she was they were really excited to announce that she was starting with them in February, I'm sorry, in July of 2018. And prior to real estate, Patricia worked in the teaching field for more than 22 years, and that's a lot of years.
Yes.
In her native country of Guatemala. You're from Guatemala. That's wonderful. And she has also brought to the airwaves, and she's brought them to life because she is a radio host and is the mother of three amazing children and a wife to a wonderful guy. So I don't know how she does it all, but she juggles all these balls in the air somehow, and she looks great, and she is always amazing on how she engages others, her clients. I've been one of her clients, and I can't tell you enough that the way she establishes relationships with her clients. We've become friends through time because of the amazing human being that she is and woman. I do appreciate her so much, and I'm so happy you're here, Patti. And and to continue with your bio, it says here, which I really appreciate. I set my heart and mind to meeting my clients' needs with a resolve towards helping them create positive new memories when buying a house or gaining the best possible return when selling. I'm having an issue because my vision is a little weird and I have this light here in my face. Let me switch it over to the other side. Sorry. So she has also, the other thing it says here, that Patricia says that she decided to join Remax for their professionalism and experience as the #1 real estate company in the world. Their great values and ethics fit to perfection with her own. And she says that they're a happy family. And I have used Remax in the past when I owned a home in the past, and they were the sellers of my home, and it was a wonderful experience, I have to say. The right home starts with the right agent in today's seller's market, which is something I want to touch on today, so that our viewers and the audience can learn what is a seller's market and what it means for them. So connecting with an agent you can trust makes all the difference. And we'll be sharing all of the information in terms of location and website and phone number later during the interview, so that anyone that wants to connect with you, Patti, or your sales manager at your location can do so. Now, Patti, I am going to ask every single guest that I have on this show the same question. This is going to be the first question. And the reason why I ask this, because it's fascinating to me when I meet people, what their history is like and how they became to do the amazing work that they do, especially when they stand out and they do it in such a unique and effective manner. Now, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was it that little Patti was playing at and imagining in her head at the very beginning of her years?
Well, thank you, Evelyn, for having me here today. It's an honor and I'm humble. You made my day today. As I
Oh,
was expressing you earlier,
hmm.
I've been having a couple of weeks that I've been a little difficult, but with all those nice words and your tone of voice that is so soothing,
Oh, thank you.
makes me feel right now that I'm at a happy place with you.
Oh,
So
thank you. I do
thank you
want
so
you to feel
much.
welcomed. You are absolutely welcomed. And I know a lot of people are interested in the information you have to share today. So
Thank
tell
you.
me, what
Uh,
was it that you wanted to do when you grew up?
well, I was actually thinking in when you asked the question, and I would say that the first thing that I wanted to be, and it might sound a little strange, but I wanted to be a diplomat.
Oh,
And
wow. I think that you are for sure. You do have some of that.
I think I do. I think that we already, all of us as human beings, we are equipped with so many gifts and talents, and sometimes it's just a matter of discovering them and applying them into life. So I wanted to be a diplomat because I wanted to reach out to the world. I wanted to travel. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to learn different languages, and because I believe that diplomacy is the best way to convey a message. And I think sometimes there are so many issues in the world or in life, in relationships in general, because sometimes the way you deliver the message is not the right way.
Mhm.
So I believe in that very much.
And now wanting to be a diplomat, did you course any studies in diplomacy or anything related, communications, for example? You became a teacher, so you were teaching, so you definitely knew how to convey ideas and get your point across, concepts, which is so important in the teaching field. So what do you think of your experience after dreaming about being a diplomat actually help you be diplomatic,
Mhm.
conducting business, because it takes a lot of diplomacy,
Yes.
engaging different people from different walks of life, and to close a sale and that everybody's happy, all parties.
Yes. I didn't have the opportunity to pursue in college what I wanted to be at, what I wanted to study, which is in Spanish it's called Relaciones Internacionales, or I think, I don't
Mhm.
know how is it called here in the
International
US.
relations, yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, so that's what I wanted to study at the university, but unfortunately I couldn't. So, but in a way, my path towards the teaching field made me who I am today. I still had the opportunity to be always negotiating, in the classroom with students, with
Hmm.
parents, and of course, being, I would say, people's lover, because I do love people.
Oh.
I I was always looking into ways of helping them and just being there for them in a way. So teaching, it's as you know, it's all about serving,
Hmm.
and I actually enjoy that very much. And when I decided to jump into this industry, I just saw it as a big opportunity for me, because when I was in property management, that's how I started.
Oh,
I
okay.
noticed that there were a lot of people that they were misinformed. They have a little or no information in how to became a homeowner. And I was like, well, this is my chance. I'm a teacher. I love teaching. I love people. I was looking into when I was in property management, that I needed to be like the mediator most of the time. So I was like, I think this is for me. So I I jump into the real estate class, and here I am.
Okay. And there's a state exam you have to complete as well, isn't there?
Yes, yes, and to me it was a difficult task, because even though that I love this country, and first time I traveled here was back in 1984.
Oh,
My
wow.
first trip was to Chicago, and
Hmm.
that's what I fell in love with this country. Um, I didn't have like I would say, like a full experience living in here, in to that extent, to that I could know how can I sell a house and all the laws involved. It was a very difficult task for me, but I guess, like I said, it's just a matter of determination and how bad you want something, I would say. And when
Absolutely. You
how
have to
bad
have
you
that
want,
fire in your heart.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes. So yeah, but it's. I mean, anybody can do anything. I mean, it's just here. You can do anything you want and be
That
anything
is
you
true.
want. Hmm.
And you are a great example of someone who has migrated to the United States and has done wonderful things with your life, had so many different achievements. You have a beautiful family as well. And I know that you're very successful because I see your posts every time you close on a house, and just the oh my God, their faces. It must be so wonderful to be part of somebody
It
buying
is.
their dream home, you know.
It is. As a matter of fact, the first time that I interview my customers, I actually try to listen everything they say, like you.
I know.
I I listen, and I
All
pay
the little
attention,
details.
all the little details. So on that first interview, when I explain how is the process of buying a house, I take the time and I actually imagine them. Like I started like creating like a back picture, like a blueprint behind them, and I can see them. Okay, this is the house that maybe this house would like them, or maybe they will feel comfortable in this one. Oh, I know, I already saw this property here or this community that might fit, maybe a good fit for them. And then when we go after that first hour presentation, buyer's presentation, I send them to, if they're already pre-approved, which is jumping to the next step, which is going to buy a house, which is the fun part, shopping around. Or if they have to go to the pre-approval process, I follow them, I hold their hand, and I'm just don't kick them out. And I say, hey, go get pre-approved and see me when you're ready. I follow up and I try to be there for any questions I may have. But when you go when you go see the first house with them and you open the door and you see their eyes, having this little spark, and then they're looking around and they're saying, oh my goodness, we can put this here, over there. And then they start creating all these things in their heads, like the colors that were put. And it's just an amazing experience, being part of that, being like a partner in crime kind of deal with them, and on top of that, trying to just be there for them. It's not an easy process. I won't lie to you. It's not. It requires a lot of guts, like you said, and a lot of grace too, because you have to have the right words to present the offer. You have to, how can I say this? You just have to be, you have to put not just the heart, but the human part to the transaction. Because if you just let go with a cold mindset, oh, this is just another transaction, and we're just gonna follow like the book, and we go by what the book says, it's gonna turn it into just like cold, dark transaction. But if you do the opposite, you will enjoy the process, even though towards the end of the transaction, the ones that have bought their house already would know, and by experience yourself, that the last 2 weeks are very stressful, to a point that sometimes you go like, man, I never thought it was going to be this hard to buy a house. And us behind the scenes, all these realtors that you guys see every day, oh my God, we just sometimes we can't sleep at night.
Oh boy.
At the next day, we are just like every during the last 2 weeks of the transaction, our clients become the center of attention, and all our energy, mindset, everything it goes towards that. So
I'm
by the day
aware of that.
we give you the keys. That is special moment at closing, when you give the keys and you see them signing. Most of the time I cry, because I know how difficult it was for them, because last minute documents, because this, because that, because the transfer, whatever. You just see them, accomplishing their dreams, and you go like, oh man, this is really something. It's very, very sweet and special, and I feel blessed to be part of that moment. It's a very unique moment.
I can definitely attest to that. Just meeting with you the first time, and you're so caring and understanding of all the little details that anyone would want. I remember when I shared with you, I said, I don't want light posts in front of the house. I don't want this. I don't want that. It has to be well lit, a lot of natural lighting and coming in and whatnot. And I would remember you would call me, you say, it has this, it doesn't. And you remembered every single detail. And I so appreciated that about you. And I know how stressful buying a house is. I remember my very first house. And it went through, I was a first-time home buyer and a single parent with a 5-year-old at that time. And it was a wonderful experience. And I will never forget that. I remember when I walked in, I was by myself, got the key. I hadn't picked up my son from school yet. And I knelt down on the floor and just gave thanks that it finally got my house. And for me, it was the most amazing house. And so many wonderful memories, like your bio says. This is this is what you're selling. It's these memories that families make together, or couples, or a single person buying their first home. It's such a great achievement, just the paperwork and the headaches, and
Yes.
and sometimes the findings that can surface during a search. And so it is a wonderful experience. Many years ago, I ventured into mortgages, but I was working full time as an administrator at a very large school. And I also was
Mhm.
working my business on the side. But I loved being part of it, even if it was that end of it, doing that paperwork at home and finalizing that whole process. I didn't continue because I couldn't juggle as many balls in the air like you do, because I had that full-time job. I was starting my coaching business, and I had my son. I was a single parent at that time. And so it was a lot to handle for me. So I had to decide, okay, I got to let go of one of these balls. So the mortgages was it, but it was so satisfying. So I absolutely know how you feel. And because I've experienced the process with you, I know that you're telling the whole truth in terms of how you deal with it and how you treat your clients. And I always appreciated that. That's why I wanted to have you here on the show today. Now,
Thank
let's get into the actual market, housing and rental situation here in Florida right now. What can you share with the audience about that?
Well, as you might know by now, the ones, especially the ones that are buying a house or in the process or considering buying a house, they, if they have been looking when this in these platforms, what's available out there, they will notice that not only there's not a whole lot to choose from right now, but the prices have increased.
Yes.
That is called seller's market. We are in a seller's market, and I'm sorry, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Oh, okay.
I was gone for a minute, but
Okay.
yes, I was saying that that's the first thing that you have to know, that it's a seller's market, and what it means is that you will see not only that the prices are went a little high, a little higher compared to what they were last year, but the most important thing right now is that if you are interested in buying a house or selling a house, you have to connect with an experienced professional like myself. I'm sorry, I've been having interruptions with myself or with another professional, because if you're planning on selling, you have to have the right price, the right and fair price. And as a buyer, you need to understand that you will be maybe competing against other buyers as well.
Mhm.
So your offer needs to be solid. And yes, a lot of people ask me sometimes, can we ask for a lot of closing costs? And I say, it all depends. You can always ask. You know, everything is negotiable, as they say in real estate.
Uh-huh.
But if you really want to win an offer, sometimes you just have to look into the details, and either you're going to ask for a reduction, or you're going to ask for closing costs, or you just do your best to get the more clean and solid offer. So what is going on right now. The interest rates, of course, are super low, and
Mhm.
the bad news is they're not going to last forever. And so we
Oh.
were having on a, yes, on our business meeting this year at the beginning of the year. I mean, yeah, second week actually, they were telling us that yes, advise your buyers that this is not gonna last another year.
Mm,
So if you are, we cannot, I cannot tell you it's gonna happen like in 3 6 months, but for sure it's not gonna last for another year.
okay.
So if you are already qualified, or you think that you can be qualified or pre-approved, which is the right word, then connect with a real estate agent, and then they will let you know um, how the process is. They will send you to the lender, and then you will go from there. But usually it's like I said, it's a complex process, and I understand when people take their time, and it's a business of trust, and you have to feel comfortable who you're working with, either the realtor or the lender. They need to be your allies. They need to be your friends. You're going to be talking to them almost every day during the transaction. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to feel comfortable who you're dealing with. Otherwise, it's going to be a nightmare. Um, but yes, that's what I can tell you right now. The hottest, I would say, communities or counties right now for new construction, of course, if you have been like I said, doing some research, Polk County, it's growing. It is super
Mm-hmm.
super interesting way. It's growing and growing, and a lot of builders are looking into that area, that side of town. And if you are above 640 in credit score, you can actually qualify for a 100% financing, that type of loan, because it's considered still a one of those counties where you can get that type of financing, the USDA loans.
Okay.
So that could be super super good if you are actually considering doing something like that. A lot of those builders are also providing almost all closing costs, if not all closing costs. So that is a good area if you don't mind commuting from Haines City, Davenport, Winter Haven, which is around
Mm-hmm.
40 minutes to Orlando. Well,
Right.
there you go. There's plenty of communities out there. Here in Orlando, in the metro area, I would say that Winter Springs is selling very well. East Orlando as well, all the Waterford Lakes area, 32825.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there is a lot of going on right now, and a lot of
So,
sellers are putting all this effort and working on renovations before they put the house on the market,
of course.
and so they can get in the kind of not only can get but they can offer a moving ready opportunity for the future homeowner.
And Patty, what about the pricing right now in terms of square footage? What would you say is an average right now that's selling?
I will go more for what's the median price is between
Mm-hmm.
285 to 300. That's the
Okay.
median price right now. Like I say, you can still find good properties in that price range, but they're always, if you actually have the patience to look into the our platform where we see all the houses, which is called the MLS,
Mm-hmm.
that you could see that there are several properties. Some people are asking me if they're going to see a lot of foreclosures, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people are waiting for that
I've
moment to
noticed that,
happen.
yes.
And I say, it's not going to happen. We're not going to see a lot of foreclosures, especially now. Right now,
Really?
they have another break with this moratorium. So I know that it's not going to happen, at least not in the next probably 6 months. But
Wow. Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been seeing daily. I've been actually looking at those listings. I consider myself more of a buyer's agent. I do have my
Definitely,
listings, but
yes.
I can see more of a buyer's agent. So I'm always out there showing properties and looking for the perfect match for my customers, so I can actually go through every single zip code in Orlando or in Central Florida. So I kind of like see how the market is behaving right now. But
And
yeah, that's
Patty,
the sweet spot.
thank you. And so again, it's a seller's market because the prices have risen, and that makes it favorable for sellers. And also buyers have to be on the lookout because then is there less of an inventory of houses when it's a seller's market? How does that factor in?
That's the main reason why it's a seller's market, because
Okay.
there is more demand than supply.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Now, who is buying in Florida? Foreign investors, families who are relocating, singles. What is the trend right now?
Um, I would say the millennials are
Really?
are taking
Okay.
over the market. Yes, that's the first age group that I would say that it's actually pretty amazing. And
Yes, I
I
think
think it's
so.
really, really cool that all these millennials and young people are already, having the mindset, oh, I want to invest instead of renting. I want to do this. And it happens to me. I get a lot of phone calls from millennials asking information. How do they do it? And there are, and it's I will say this about millennials. They have, I'm on a generation X, I was born in
Uh-huh. I won't
1970.
tell you which one I'm in.
But they are very confident, and they know what they want,
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they
and
are.
they come with that mentality. Especially my last buyer, his name is Edwin. Hi, Edwin, if you're watching. He During the interview, he was so, like I said, confident and sure what he wanted from the get-go, that during the whole transaction everything ran smoothly because he knew exactly what he wanted, and he listened. He did what we told him to do, and that deal was very smooth and nice. And he was always relaxed and calm, that he was saying, Patty, if this is meant to be, it's going to happen. And I would say that the other millennials that I have worked with, they came with the same mentality, and it's just amazing. So
I'm
it's
very impressed, absolutely,
mhm.
because millennials get a bad rap sometimes when they talk about the different generations, but I think they're amazing and I have lots of fun with them. And I also have a lot of them that approach me for mentorship and other services that I provide. So I'm really happy to hear that because this is tomorrow. This is the generation that's going to lead the country, that's going to take care of the elderly, and is going to move forward with the economy and with anything and everything that has to do with the nation. So I'm very happy that they're starting to think about settling when it comes to investment and their money and the importance of it, because the reality is, Patty, and I was doing a little research myself, um, rentals here in Florida fluctuate for one bedroom to 12, 1300, almost to 1400 in some cases, and even more. So a family of two or more, we're looking at 1700, 2000 a month. And that doesn't include the water, the utilities in general, internet, groceries, and all of the other things that go attached to running a household. So, what is there anything you can say about that, and how does that compare to investing in an actual home? Because people are afraid about buying a home probably because it does require maintenance and repairs. So, what could you tell the audience about that, and anyone who's considering purchasing or getting ready to purchase a home?
Well, yes, it's no secret. The rentals are high right now, and as you accurately pointed, yes, it's true. They went through the roof, and I'm just going to give you a couple of examples based on my recent sales. And I had a person that closed that a home for 245,
Mhm.
and the mortgage is less than 1500, and
Oh,
it's a
wow. Mhm.
beautiful house in the 32807.
Mhm.
And they were paying, it's a 4 bedroom and 2 bath, and they were paying 1300 in a condominium, and it was only 1 bedroom and 1 bath.
Oh, wow.
So yes, a big difference. Another example that I can give you. This other person bought a house just recently. I'm telling you, my sales that passed in the past couple of weeks.
Mhm.
This other person bought a house for 322. It's a 3-2, and they're paying right now. Of course, all these numbers are based on their credit score,
Of
so
course.
they get the best interest rates. But this person is only paying 1,800 a month for a beautiful home in the Winter Springs area.
And
Uh,
Winter Springs, I love Winter
nine-
Springs. Yes, that area.
1,900 square feet. They're paying, like I said, 1,800, and they were renting a house in the east side of town, to be more specific, in Waterford Lakes. They were paying 650 for a 3-2 with only
Mm.
1,600 square feet. So it's
Oh
a big
boy.
difference. And you still have to pay electricity. You still have
Of
to pay
course.
all the bills.
Hmm.
So in terms of maintenance, I would say that it's the same pretty much. The only difference I would say, and I have to say this,
Hmm.
when you buy a house, you immediately want to um, renovate the house, upgrade the house, and that's what
Furniture,
furniture.
decorations.
Yes, because you want to make it your own. Because the sense of the sense of ownership that this creates, it's amazing. So
Hmm.
it's like, oh my God, I've been renting all this time, and now finally I have the opportunity to color the walls without feeling guilty that I have to put it back the way they were, or hanging something on the wall. So, and this is why, and I want to put an emphasis on this one. This is why our industry is so important right now. And it actually helped during this pandemic, especially last year. And you guys have been listening on the media that the real estate market actually roared last year, and it will continue to do it this year,
Hmm.
because our industry, if you think of this, our industry helped, and it's a fact. It helped in one transaction. At least 40 people are, I want to
Involved,
say the
really?
word, not just involved, but blessed. And think
Oh,
of it.
wow.
It starts with the realtor and the family,
Hmm.
the lender and the family, the
Of
appraisal and the
course.
family, the inspector and the family, the vendors and their families, the furniture place. Just to give you an example, how many lives are being touched by one single transaction.
Hmm.
So this is that's why a real estate industry is just like the thermometer, I would say, of the economy. So thank God, and please do not pray, oh, let's wait for the prices go down so we have another 2008, 2009, so everybody can go run and buy whatever they want. No, we have to be very happy that we are in the market that we are right now, because it's not only giving the opportunity with these low rates to get you to buy a house for less, but more house for less, opposed to what it was a couple of years ago. That's why you see a lot of buyers wanting to buy, because before they were only like pre-approved for let's say 255. With this, with the low rates right now, they can afford 285.
Hmm.
You need yes, like 30
Yes.
more, 20,000 more.
So you basically answered my next question, which was how has COVID affected sales in any way? But apparently it hasn't. I know that up to
Mhm.
March it was really good, and maybe April of last year was a little bit affected, but then it picked up
Mhm.
again. Am I right about that?
Yes, it was a what it, because a lot of the experts mentioned last year that our economy was going to be, especially the real estate industry, was going to what they called a V shape. And yes, the hit is just like radical, and it goes just like momento de morir, ¿no? Va un solo, va
Dead
para
at the
el
moment, and then
suelo.
it goes back up.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then rebounds, and that's exactly what happens.
great.
So we're very confident, and we're going to have another good year. In a way, the ways that you can say that this changed the industry is with the closing and the delays.
Mm.
Especially right now, I have a situation, and this is why I was telling you that I was worried, because most of these lenders, investors, the one that gives you the money, are in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And there is one investor in Los Angeles right now which where the building has already been shut down because
Oh,
the
because of the
employees
close down. Yeah.
and most of the employees are with the virus. So we are pushing our closings right now. And when this happens, sellers are not very happy when they have to wait. And buyers are anxious that, oh goodness, I'm not going to close this week and I have to move out because it's the beginning of the month. So these kind of things or stories or issues have affected the industry. Uh,
And oh, go ahead. I have another question.
and the standard closing would be 35 to 45 days, but we're seeing closings going to up to 2 months,
Oh, wow.
because of
Yes.
some of the delays.
Mm-hmm.
Appraisers are taking longer also to appraise the house, not just because of COVID, but because of the demand that we have right now in
And
sales.
which is a good thing to some
Yeah.
extent, because there is a demand. Now, if someone is selling their home but needs to buy another home to live in, how does that work then with these delays then? Uh, are are there agreements between the seller and the buyer wants to move in immediately? Do they agree, well, the seller stays in the home a little longer until they get it? How does that work?
When you have situations like that, there's always, and this is why it's important to have a professional helping you,
Mhm.
because our job is to negotiate and to mediate all those issues along the road. And there are what we call addendums. It's a legal document where
Mhm.
you agreed upon anything that you want to agree on. And if that's, let's say that you need to extend the closing, everybody needs to an agreement. Some sellers are understanding and they say, okay, let's go for it another week. They have to set their time. So the lender and everybody else in the team is trying to make it work. But sometimes, when it gets a little complicated, where other resources need to be considered. But we try to do our best. Not only that we try, we actually do whatever needs to be done. But we want to um, go over and pass those challenging situations during the closing, especially when it's been affected by a delay. But in the most part, I would say 90% of the time, everybody wants to work with each other.
Mhm. Of
Everybody
course,
wants to
everybody wins.
sell, the buyer
Absolutely.
wants to buy, but yeah, that going back and forth and that's just very stressful.
And
Hmm.
and one more question. Are we good with your time? I want to be respectful of the time that you
Please
have to
go
be
ahead.
with
Yeah.
us. Okay. And how about investors? Are there foreign investors coming in trying to buy now because the market is so good in terms of interest
Um,
rate and um, I know the inventory isn't as high, but is that something that happens for this type of market?
I would say foreign investors, not so much at the moment because
Okay.
there's a lot of traveling issues. But
Okay.
local investors or local or national, how do you call that? Um, Investors in other states
Okay.
may
Yes.
be
Uh-huh.
considered domestic. Yeah, domestic investors. They are being cautious right now because they have to buy cheap so they can restore the place or renovate the place or upgrade the place before they put it back on the market. And right now there's not a whole lot
Hmm.
of that gap in the middle where they can actually net more, because that's
Hmm.
their business, flipping homes.
Now, one question, and I'm really curious about this. You drive around, there's so many houses that are for sale right now. One, in some communities, you just drive down, there's a house here, a house there. How about businesses? Brick and mortar businesses, you drive through town and there's so many places that are shut down, maybe for
Mhm.
sale or for rent. What can you share with us regarding that?
Well, I don't deal with commercial listings,
Okay.
but because is a difference.
Okay.
I'm more of on the residential side, but
Mm-hmm.
one of our best, actually, is a seasoned realtor in Remax. His name is Chuck Rudy's. If you want to reach out to him, he's a great commercial realtor, and he also during this business meetings he tells us about how's the marketing behaving. And he said, yes, last year was super slow. Of course, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
business were going out of business,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's kind of like coming back again just a little bit, but not too much. A lot of as you know, several people are working from home. And
Yes.
of course, that changed the whole scenario for the commercial side, but I don't have more information in detail
Okay,
for
thank you,
the
but that could be another show sometime in the
yeah.
future. Absolutely. So, give me some good reasons to buy or invest right now.
The best reason I can give you is the interest rates, because that's going to allow you to buy pretty much what you had in mind, since you put that desire in the on the universe that you want to buy a house.
Hey,
And
that's how it all starts.
that's how it starts. Yeah, right time, because this interest rates are not going to last forever, like I say.
Hmm.
Give you a little bit of and this is what I do with my customers when they want to buy a house, especially during this seller's market. Let's say that you have been pre-approved for $250,000, $100,000. If you are already pre-approved for 250, don't look on these other platforms, houses in that price range or even higher, between 250 and 255. Go a
Hmm.
little lower. Look for properties that are in the 230s, 240s, but not over 245.
Okay.
Because if you like something in that price range, and most of the time I'm pretty sure they're going to be, depending on the condition of the house and the location of the house, but most houses are actually getting a lot of offers, multiple offers. And
Mm.
if you want to win the offer because you really, really like the house, and it happens to be at 245 and you're already being pre-approved for 250, then you can put an offer for five more and you can win the offer. But
Okay.
you stretch yourself to 250, and then you know that you can't, but you still want to, overdo it,
Yeah.
then you can not only close, because it could be a difficult file, because you're going to be stretching out more than you're supposed to according to your day to income ratio. So don't put yourself into that predicament so that you want to end up with your heart broken.
So you want
And
to have some wiggle room there in
yeah,
terms
yeah,
of the
that's
financing.
how I put
And
it. And try to make sure that your realtor send some of a introduction letter, explaining who you are and why you want to buy this home. I have one, and I know a lot of other realtors, they don't agree with my technique, but I,
but you're selling
yeah,
quite a
that,
bit.
I am getting my
You're
step
closing deals. That's the
in the
way to
middle,
do it.
in the middle, multiple offers. And I have one, and listen to me, I have one offers, and I'm not exactly because I'm being the highest and best. Is because I knew I knew how to put their emotions and desires, my customers' desires, into that introduction letter. And
Okay.
and I always ask the realtor, please share this with your buyer. And I'm not lying, it's true. We have won offers, not being the highest and best, because we're not lying. I mean, I have customers that have actually fell in love with the house. That in the moment that they saw the house, they looked at each other. If it was a husband and wife, they looked at each other, and they just looked at each other and said, yes, this is the one. I put all that in, like, in a piece of paper, and I even include a picture of my buyers. call it manipulation, call it whatever.
The
To me,
human factor, emotions, and that's what sells. Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely.
best way to do it is to let the other party know. Even investors, sometimes, it's not even uh the the primary, the homeowners that are living in the house, which are the
Hmm.
primary, but sometimes it are investors that usually they are very strong-headed, and some people say they're cold and they don't care, but they do care. You'd be surprised.
Really.
Yeah.
Now, I think you have the pulse then of people wanting to buy homes for sure, because it is an amazing experience. It's scary. It's like a roller coaster ride, but you want to get on it anyway. And
Yeah.
and it's exciting because you're thinking ahead, already envisioning the life you'll have there, the holidays, the dinners, getting up in the morning, rushing the kids to school, or if you're single, it's your own place, and it's just so wonderful to have been able to achieve that. Now, I think that you definitely have mastered that, and you use that really well. And even when you're grooming a relationship with a client, you listen to the story. Why do I want to buy a house? What does it mean? I remember when I had asked you to look for a house, I said, if you could get something with a mother-in-law suite, because if mom wants to come and stay with me, she has her own place, her own furniture. And I shared all those things with you, and I know you were always looking out for me for that aspect of all the list of things that I wanted besides the location. So I do appreciate your work ethics and the integrity that you have, and most importantly, the human aspect, that touch that you give it of just your generous and kind heart is amazing. Now, we're going to get ready to wrap up a little bit, and I do have one, maybe two more questions, if you don't mind. Are you still good with the time frame?
Yes, of course.
Okay, great. Uh, Now, because this podcast is for women in leadership, and leadership, sometimes people think, oh, I have to be a leader of an organization or a company. It's being a leader for your own life. That's where it all starts. And it's self-mastery, and then developing other skills to lead in your home as the head of the household, for your own life if you're single, um, to take care of the many responsibilities, whether you have pets, children, or aging parents, which are responsibilities that as we grow older, we start taking on. And I really think that real estate is a wonderful field for anyone who wants to do something from the heart and make some money while you're at it. And there is this rush you get apparently from, I mean, you got to love it, the paperwork and all the things that come up and everything. That is exhilarating, actually, at times. I remember when I was doing mortgages, would be on the brink of closing something, and oh my God, and then here we go. But you know what? You come back the next day and you do it over and over and over again, because that handing over that key and the face of the homeowner, that is huge, huge. Now, um, what strategies or mindset, and you've already mentioned some, what strategies or mindset would you recommend to women aspiring to become a realtor? And just share what works for you. You mentioned that letter, that works.
To become a realtor, you mean?
Yes. Uh-huh.
If you, this is, and I'm just going to be very honest with my answer.
I know you will be.
I would say the general public. I would not, I don't want to say everybody, but there is a misconception in a way
Mhm.
about the kind of money that realtors make. And it is well known that they think that we're loaded and this is easy money, and that we make a lot of money. And yes, you can, like in any industry, or like in any occupation or profession that you decide to go after, it's a matter of hard work, but mainly mindset. You have to have
Mhm.
a positive mindset, and you have to put a specific timelines or timeframes to your goals. In my case, not just in real estate, but in general, I put a mindset for everything. Last year, I had a goal and a couple of goals. And not only did I put a time on every single goal, but I put it on my vision board, and I set it,
I love vision
you know,
boards.
and I set it. And I was surprised that most of the things that I would say, most of
How
that,
exciting.
they they
Yes.
they, they actually not only became true, but in lesser time. I set a goal for April last year, and it happened in March. I set a goal for April this year, and it happened in December. I
Oh,
said,
wow.
and it happened just in December. So you have to, in this business, you have to be very organized. And I tell you, I, I am very organized sometimes in my head. I am trying to, and this is, I've been working on this past year to be more organized, like probably you should. I am
Mhm.
working on that, but then you have to be consistent. Like I said before, you have to genuinely care about others, and
Mhm.
be ready to serve others,
That's a
because
key
we don't
thing.
have a schedule. We don't work from 8 to 5. We don't. I get my family, my husband especially, can attest to this. Sometimes I'm putting an offer, trying to negotiate something that is not going well at 9, 10 o'clock. Sometimes some people would say, oh, well, you're not managing your time very well. And I'm like, sometimes it's not a matter of managing our time. Sometimes it's a matter of trying to solve and give our best, so we don't wait, or we don't take any chances, or we don't risk any file or other people interest, because we don't want to work because it's already past or after hours.
Mhm.
So there is no such a thing. If you're on vacation, the phone, you still have to be conducting business wherever you are. Going back to the hotel, and it happened to me, I was in New York last year, and I had to go back to the hotel to write an offer.
Oh,
And
wow.
things like that, I have to
Mhm.
get. It's not a normal life. And during the weekends, there is no weekends.
There, none whatsoever. And when you're an entrepreneur, because you're a businesswoman,
Exactly.
this is your business, and although you're affiliated to Remax, which is a very huge franchise, which is wonderful because you have so many options and possibilities there.
Mhm.
Um, but it is a business, and you have to conduct it as a business, and especially when we're starting out in entrepreneurship, we really have to put in a lot of hours, particularly now if we've had to pivot to the online presence like I have and everybody else has as well. It takes additional work and additional time, and I know what you're saying, because my family, especially my mom, she says, you're still working, and I'm like, yes, it's Saturday or Sunday. Yes, because if I don't, then things get behind, and that can't happen. So it does take a lot of dedication, and I hear you, because that's what you're saying. It's the mindset, that you are dedicated, you're focused, and you're always going the extra mile. yet you go on vacations, so you do try and find some balance. And I know that your family's very supportive, and your husband, we were having a meeting and your husband stopped by, and he thought you were done, and I remember he said, okay, I'll wait outside. It was pouring that day and he went out. So I know that that's the other thing. When you are a realtor, it does require the support of your family, or whomever's in your life, and to juggle all those pieces. You are an amazing, extraordinary woman, most definitely, because you do have a lot up on your plate. And I know of other things that you've had to deal with along the way, and yet you sold during the most difficult moments of your life, and that of your children. So I appreciate that, and it's a great inspiration to know you. Now, um, let's see. Because we are coming to an end now, share, if you like, right now, any events or anything. If you have something on the market right now that you're looking to sell, why don't you share that information now with the audience, or at least how they can contact you for more information.
Okay. I'm gonna have coming soon next month. I'm gonna have 2 condos in Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
Just tune in and follow me on my social media. I know that you're gonna give me time to do that later, but follow me on social media so you will see what's coming. But yes, 2 condos front with beachfront are coming. It's gonna be a good price on both, so keep that in mind. And then I have a rental right now that is available. It's 3-2 in Waterford for 1725, and the deposit it's 1425. So
Okay.
to rent in the Waterford Lakes area, there's a nice home waiting for you while you get ready to buy your house.
Absolutely, yes. And that's something to consider as well, that if you want to rent a house also, Patty is available for that as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just for purchasing at the moment. Sometimes it does take time to prepare towards that. Now, and so I have information about your location, your office, the sales manager information. Is that the information you would like for me to post? Because I will after we're done. I'll put it right under the video. Or do you want to send me any information that you'd like me to post there?
Just follow me and like me on my business page as Patti Alonzo, real estate agent. And
Okay.
everywhere you can just put my name like Patti Alonzo with an I, and I will come in a lot of searches on the web, on Instagram, YouTube, you name it, I'm there.
I know. Patti Alonso, real estate
Real estate agent.
agent.
Mhm.
And that's your Facebook page, and your Instagram is also set up that way?
On TikTok for the ones that like to, TikTok. You can find me there too.
Okay. All right. So, any words of wisdom for future home buyers?
Words of wisdom. Word. They say that if you want to accomplish anything in life, you have to dream first,
Mhm.
right? But they say that if you don't put that dream into action, it's just only a dream, and it stays as a dream. But if you want to make this home ownership a dream come true, you have to organize your thoughts, put on a piece of paper, put a mindset, like I said, like a specific time. I'm not kidding you. This is not just it.
Oh, it works. Believe me, it does.
It
And
works.
there's a psychological explanation for that, which I can discuss at some other point in another presentation. But most definitely, putting
Yeah.
your mind to something and the emotion that it requires to generate the action, it all comes together and it's magnificent. And that helps to manifest your dreams in different ways. And of course, including a source, any beliefs that you may have along with that. So go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. And then of course it's wise to know where you at financially. It's not
Mm-hmm.
it's if you have issues with your credit, work with your credit and talk to one of us. We can give you um advice and we can send you to the right people. We don't charge for those type of advice. You can also talk to a lender. You can go to your bank if you want to give it a try. Go to your bank. If you already have a realtor you're working with, or you have a friend who is a realtor, or if you want to come with me and talk to me, I can help you with any questions. I speak español también y
Sí.
y un poco de portugués. Eu falo un pouquinho português.
Oh,
I,
wow.
yeah.
That's wonderful.
And
Patty, thank you so
yeah,
much.
and of course, like you were saying, Evelyn, having the confidence that you can do anything.
Mhm.
It's just the most important thing, because you can do anything in life. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in your creator,
Mhm.
and then everything is just a matter of the right timing, and it will come up. It will show up, and you will just be living what you dreamed of. Mhm.
And it's amazing because once you start the ball rolling, doors start opening up with any dream that you may have, any desire that you may have, that you are consistently working towards. And sometimes some people want to achieve things with a big bang at one given moment, but sometimes it doesn't work that way. So don't give up, because sometimes it's a matter of steps, and one step a day may can make a difference. So don't be discouraged if you can only complete one step towards that grand goal that you have, because it's better than nothing. And once you get there, you look back and say, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that I had the courage and the guts and the grace to attempt that and to reach my goal and my dreams." And remember that when we do things, we impact people around us, whether it's our families, whether it's our community, our faith based organizations, the state, the nation, the world. It's a ripple effect. So go for your dreams. Don't ever give up. And Patty, I'm so grateful that you were here on the show today. Thank you so much again for accepting to be on the show with your very busy schedule. And thank you for the audience for viewing today's episode on the trends in real estate with Patti Alonzo. Anything else you would like to add, Patty, before I close up?
No, I just want to say that it was. I'm honored to have you in my life,
Oh, thank you.
and grateful. I'm really grateful for that, and just the fact that I was here with you today, and just looking at the wonderful things that you do, because you are amazing too, Evelyn. I mean, the things that you do,
Thank you.
they're just wonderful, and you're very inspirational. You are, and you are very how can I say this? Tú eres bien linda y especial.
Oh, that's sweet.
And you just you just have a thing, like, I don't know, I think that people feels it too.
Thank
But
you. I
thank
appreciate
you
that. Thank you
for
so much. I love you. And
helping.
um, I'm so grateful that you came, and maybe we'll have another discussion if there are any changes in the trends, or if you need to share any important information, we can bring you back on the show in the future. And I just want to say to the audience, thank you so much for tuning in. And please tune in next week for episode 3 of our podcast, Extraordinary Women of Guts and Grace. Uh, Compassionate, fearless leadership. And remember how I always sign off: much self love, compassion, and benevolence with yourself first, because you deserve it. I deserve it, and everyone around us deserves it. keep the peace. And thank you, Patti, for joining us today.
Thank you, my love. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.